Alrighty. What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Glitcherbot23 here. I told y'all this was coming. We got another Ras Kass reaction. We got Nature of the Threat from his Soul on Ice album. It's kind of weird that I was actually suggested the remix over the original one, which I think is actually on this album. Hopefully, it would make sense for it not to be when that's the name of the album. But yo, especially from the last reaction, I don't quite remember the very first reaction I did at Ras Kass, but the last reaction, dude went off with the bars. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, that was some impressive like lyricism right there in the last reaction. But if you guys want more from Ras Kass, y'all know what to do by this point, man. Hit that like button if you enjoy, subscribe to the channel if you're new, comment down below what you guys want to see next, share your thoughts and opinions about the track and my reaction to it by the end of the video. If you guys want to join my Discord, the Glitcher Gang, all you gotta do is click that link down below in the description, and you'll be able to personally DM me requests if you want to. You'll have access to the general chat. It's something I want to start getting popping more often. You know what I mean? But other than that, we got a pretty lengthy track. So without further ado, making sure the recording is still going, we're just going to go ahead and get on into it. Make sure the brightness is up for you guys, and let's go.
Let freedom ring with a buckshot, but not just yet. First we need to truly understand the nature of the threat. And a pale man walks in the threshold of darkness. Roughly 20,000.
We need to understand the threat that's at hand. Why the pale man walks. He's wasting no time. He's getting straight into it with this one. He ain't wasting no time. Neither am I.
Let freedom ring with a buckshot, but not just yet. First we need to truly understand the nature of the threat. And a pale man walks in the threshold of darkness. Roughly 20,000 years ago, the first humans evolved with the phenotypical trait. Genetic recessive, blue eyes, blonde hair, and white skin. Albinism apparently was a sin to the original man. African, so the mutants traveled north of the equator. Go Europeans later.
The mutants traveled north of the equator, talking about how basically a black man was considered a sin, maybe in a way, when men was first being created, because he was talking about the white man being created, blue eyes, blonde hair, and then seeing Africans or just colored people in general as sins. You know, he's definitely about to get he's about to get like in some way it's already started off as a very serious track, and the flow and lyricism is already there. Storytelling is another aspect of hip-hop that I really enjoy. I feel is being slowly faded away as the new generation takes over. But I'm not going to try to pause as much, but I'm going to try not to pause as much, but there's definitely going to be pauses, especially with as serious as this track is already starting off.
And white skin, albinism apparently was a sin to the original man. African, so the mutants traveled north of the equator. Go Europeans later, the first race haters. So here's the devil's alpha to the beta. Cause history's best qualified to teach one. Quoting German philosopher Schopenhauer, every white man is a faded or a bleached one. Migration created further mutation. Genetic drifts, evolution through recombination. Adaptation to the climate. As the Caucasus mountain man reverted to that of a primate. Savage Neanderthals until the late Paleolithic age. That's when the black Grimaldi man came with the symbol of the dragon.
Bro, dog, oh my god. I am being taught English right now by this dude. This man is pulling out words I would never hear if I wasn't reacting. Like, there's been at least a word in almost every line that I've never heard a day in my life before. We're not even the first minute in. Pac, pray for me. Pray for me, Pac.
His mountain man reverted to that of a primate. Savage Neanderthals until the late Paleolithic age. That's when the black Grimaldi man came with the symbol of the dragon, fire and art. JK paintings in France and Spain to the Venus of Willendorf. Around 2000 BC, southern Russians migrating small units. Those who traveled west populated Europe. Those who went east settled in Iran, known as Aryans. 1500 BC, some crossed the Khyber Pass into...
Oh my god, he's talking about like basically the discovery of man, how the world was kind of like, how it started. For those of y'all who don't know, the world started as like, or in theory started as like, where all the continents were together, called Pangea. And he's kind of talking about how people went and explored different parts of the land, and they're seeing different races. He's saying some people went north, saw some Arabians. I don't think, or went north, saw Europeans. Maybe went another direction, saw Arabians. Why did I say Arabians? I'm not trying to offend anyone, but yo, this is some serious shit, like storytelling shit, like educational type of shit right here, man.
Russians migrate in small units, those who travel west populated Europe. Those who went east settled in Iran, known as Aryans. 1500 BC, to cross the Khyber Pass into India and created Hinduism, the first caste system, the origins of racism.
Going to create Hinduism, the first caste system. The caste system is something where basically defines whatever level of class you're in. It basically defines the rights that you're given. You're either, if you're towards the bottom, you're kind of like, you're like the low. If you're in the bottom part of the caste system, you basically are given no rights. You're almost in a way a slave, given no freedom. Whereas if you're in, if you're like the top percentage, you're like one of the richest, wealthy. You like run your own business. Basically, you have freedom. You know, so history class is really finna pay off here.
White dot on the forehead meant delete. The black dot defeat. Untrustable, untouchables. They wrote the holy Vedas in Sanskrit. That's the language that
he's calling the top tier the untouchables, because that's what they are. They're referred to as untouchables because they can't be touched. They can't be touched when at the top of the pyramid. Oh my god. Dude, history was fucking difficult as fuck last year with the whole COVID situation. But I remember the caste system. I remember the caste system from last year's history class. Shout out to you, Kluka.
Created Greek, German, Latin, and English. Now the Minoans around 2000 BC starts on the island of Crete in the Aegean Sea. The Greek culture begins Western civilization, but Western civilization means white domination. Mycenaeans learned from Kemet called Egypt and Greek. It existed since at least 3000 BC, creating geometry and astronomy. This knowledge influenced Plato, Socrates, and Hippocrates. Cause Imhotep, the real father of medicine, was worshipped in Greece and Rome in the form of a black African. The word
So now he's kind of talking about the creation of mathematicians or mathematics, and then creation of medicine in a way. I'm just trying to. I don't want to break this down after every single line. I'm just trying to keep it up to pace for you guys, and so also that I don't forget what was all being said on this track.
Africa comes from the Greek Afrik, meaning without code. The word philosophy means love of knowledge, stole from the first man. Greek power expands. The first Greek fraternities banned. The word gymnasium is Greek for naked. This was the place where adolescent boys were educated and molested. This was accepted because Greek culture was homosexual. For example, Sappho trained girls on the island of Lesbos, hence the word lesbian.
Hey, let these dumb motherfuckers know.
December 25th, the birth of Saturn.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. He said the reason it's called gymnasium is basically Greek for naked. And the reason it's that is because that's where little boys used to get molested. And then he's talking about, for example, with the lesbians, it's called Lesbos, hence the term lesbian. And then something about, I think he said, either some type of country or religious group is homosexuals. This dude is a history teacher. This dude Ras Kass is seriously a history teacher on this one.
The word gymnasium is Greek for naked. This was the place where adolescent boys were educated and molested. This was accepted because Greek culture was homosexual. For example, Sappho trained girls on the island of Lesbos, hence the word lesbian.
Hey, let these dumb motherfuckers know.
December 25th, the birth of Saturn, a homosexual god. Now check the historical pattern. December 25th, now thought the birth of Christ was Saturnalia. When men got drunk, fucked each other, then beat their wife. Fact is, it was still practiced till they called it Christmas. So put a gerbil on your Christmas list. The Hellenistic era, Alexander the Great conquers all the way to India, leaving 4 successive states. By the 5th century BC, ROME succeeds to be the conqueror of Egypt and Greece, but had the threat of the Black Phoenicians in Sicily. The Punic Wars began 264 BC. The Black General Hannibal and Carthaginian peace. In 146 BC, Carthage fell after a 6-month siege. Rome sold every citizen in slavery, the first genocide of history.
Oh my. He said Rome sold every slave. Rome sold everybody to slavery, the first genocide in history. Dog, what the fuck? Dog, I can't remember all this shit, man. I'm being taught so much more within this one track than I am in economics right now. I want to just listen to this whole last year. If I would have heard this track last year, bro, I bet I would have aced. My fucking my AP test for world history, U.S. history. I don't even know what history class I even took last year. Last year was a complete clusterfuck when it came to school, man. It sucked. With all the COVID shit happening last year. School sucked last year. You got taught nothing last year.
In 146 BC, Carthage fell after a 6-month siege. Rome sold every citizen in slavery, the first genocide of history. And more bisexuality in sight. Julius Caesar was known as every woman's husband and every man's wife. Spartacus revolt, slave rebellion that lost with 6,000 slaves was nailed on a cross.
He said bisexuality was becoming more of a thing. He said Julius, I don't remember the last name, but was becoming every woman's man, but every man's wife. Every woman's husband, but every man's wife. Dude, what the fuck me, man. We're gonna be here for a minute.
Sexuality in sight. Julius Caesar was known as every woman's husband and every man's wife. Spartacus revolt, slave rebellion that lost with 6,000 slaves was nailed on a cross. Oh shit, Jesus Christ. Time for some act right. Christians, get your facts right. His Christ was not his name. That's Greek for one who was anointed. Yahshua ben Yosef was his name. Do Christians know this? So who do you praise? Do you know his name? Or do you do this in vain? Accepting the religion
he just said the real name of Jesus Christ. And then he goes, do Christians even know this? Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy shit, man. I don't even know how to... We're only halfway through the... We're not even halfway through this track, and I feel like an actual idiot for not knowing this stuff ingrained in my brain. Oh my god.
Slaves to behave. Peep the description of the story in Josephus. Short, dark, with an underdeveloped beard was Jesus. He had the Romans fearing revolution. The solution was to take him to court and falsely accuse him. After being murdered by Pilate, how can it be these same white Romans established Christianity? Constantine would later see the cross in a dream. In his vision, it read, in Hawk, Signal Wonka. In this side we conquer, manifest destiny. In 325, he convened the Nicene Creed and separated...
I just realized he's doing this all chronologically. He started with 2000 BC, if I'm not mistaken, and now he's like at 3... I don't even know where he's at now. But I think he's doing all this in chronological order of when it happened. Dude. That's like Rakim level type of shit right there. I'm not even gonna lie. That's like Rakim level type of shit right there. Oh my fucking god.
Rated God into 3. Decided Jesus was born on December 25th and raising on the 3rd day is a myth. Plus to deceive us. Commissioned Michelangelo to paint white pictures of Jesus. He used his aunt, uncle, and nephew. Subconsciously that affects you. It makes you put white people closer to God.
Yo, the man got game like a Motherfucker.
True indeed, fuck it, jihad. In the 8th century, Muslims conquered Spain, Portugal, and France and controlled it for 700 years. They never mention this in history class, cause old faiths are threatened when you get the real lesson. Moors from Baghdad, Turkey, threaten European Christians, meaning the white way of life. Hence the crusade for Christ. On November 25th, 1491, Santiago defeats the last Muslim stronghold, Granada. King Ferdinand gave thanks to God for victory, and the Pope of Rome declared this day to forever be a day of thanksgiving for all European Christians. Now listen, when you celebrate Thanksgiving, what you are actually celebrating is the proclamation of the Pope of Rome, who later in league with Queen Isabella sent Cardinal Seminoles to Spain to murder any blacks that resisted Christianity.
Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, hold up. Hold up. We're not gonna go talk to Pac. Because that's too serious. That's too serious. So he just told us all that. Right then and there, right? He told us all that. He said basically when you celebrate Thanksgiving, you're basically celebrating the fact that, I think he said Queen Elizabeth went out and told the police or whoever it was to basically kill blacks. That's what happened on Thanksgiving centuries ago. Oh wow. Because I was noticing the whole thing about him. He keeps emphasizing like white people, white supremacy in a way. I was noticing that. I just wasn't addressing it because I just didn't want to address it. I just personally did not want to address it. I'm not trying to make this a race issue. I'm not trying to do anything like that. You know? Holy shit. That's... Wow. Damn, bro. That's terrible. That's terrible. We'll go back and see what he actually said. I just don't even know what to do with that kind of info. Holy shit. It's terrible. It's actually terrible.
For victory, and the Pope of Rome declared this day to forever be a day of thanksgiving for all European Christians. Now listen, when you celebrate Thanksgiving,
and it was blacks who supported Christianity, who accepted Christianity. It wasn't just regular. It wasn't just blacks. It might have been just blacks, but he said I remember specifically he said blacks who accepted Christianity, who followed Christianity.
what you are actually celebrating is the proclamation of the Pope of Rome, who later in league with Queen Isabella sent Cardinal Seminoles to Spain to murder any blacks that resisted Christianity.
So Queen Isabella ordered people to go kill blacks in Spain who accepted Christianity. That's what he... What the fuck? I didn't know this. I did not know this. This is new information to me. Holy shit. Holy shit, bro. I don't care what y'all say. I know this video is finna be like 30 minutes long. To be honest, I really don't care. This is a fucking deep storytelling historical track, man. Like I said, this is like on Rakim levels type of storytelling. Dude, this is wow. How have more people not heard this? What is this at? What is this at YouTube view wise? What is this at? Not even 100K. Bro, that's sad. That's sad that the world really does not know about this type of history. That's wow. That's sad. Ras Kass, you got my respect for this track. You got my respect for this one.
These black men and women were from Baghdad, Turkey. And today you eat the turkey for your Thanksgiving Day as the European powers destroyed the turkeys who were the forefathers of your mothers and fathers.
Get on the ground.
Now fight the power.
Get on the ground.
Bitch ass niggas.
Get down.
Now around this time, whites started calling us Negroes. That's Spanish for black object, meaning we're not really people with property. And the triangle trade begins, they seize us. Queen Elizabeth sent the first slaves on a ship named Jesus. Stealing land from the indigenous natives. Gave them alcohol to keep the red man intoxicated. Whites claim they had to civilize these pagan animals. But up until 1848, there's documented cases of whites being the savage cannibals. Eating Indians. In 1992, it's Jeffrey Dahmer. They slaughtered a whole race with guns, drugs, priests, and nuns. 1763, the first demonic tactic of biological warfare. As tokens of peace, Sir Jeffrey Amherst passed out clothing and blankets to the Indian community. Infested with smallpox, knowing they had no immunity. Today it's age, you best believe it's man-made.
Dog, I don't even know. Like, I see, like, his intent behind it. I do, and it's a very powerful track. And it's basically just painting whites as, like, terrible people who've kind of always screwed over not only blacks, but any other race in general. He's talking about, like, they were eating Indians, like, for real. Like, they were actually eating Indians. History is tough, man. History's tough, and like, wow, that's just, I'm actually speechless. I don't want to say anything to offend anybody either, so I'm just like, y'all see me bobbing my head, but I'm just purely listening on this one. Like, I'm not even breaking it down like it was at the beginning of the video. Like, I'm just strictly listening now.
Cause ain't a damn thing changed. Let me explain. Now, since people of color are genetically dominant and Caucasoids are genetically recessive, and whites expect to be predominant, meaning survive as a race, then they simply must take precautions. That's why they're worried about the future now. Cause by 2050, almost all the Earth's population will be brown and black. So understanding that, whites counter-react.
I'm saying, man, the fools ain't nothing but a teaspoon of milk in the world color majority.
So they created a system to force blacks into an unnatural position that reinforces the position of natural inferiority. In addition, created guns and developed the ethnocentric view that God justifies every fucking thing they do. Condition people to perceive whites' culture as civilized and every other culture considered primitive. Not true. Racism is the system of racial subjugation against non-whites in every areas of human relation. Entertainment, education, labor, politics, law, religion, sex, war, and economics. See, blacks were 3/5 of a man with tax purposes intended. You think you're Afro-American, you're a 14th Amendment and a good nigga. Jews don't salute the fucking swastika, but niggas pledge allegiance to the flag that accosted you. They never...
That make you pledge allegiance to a flag that costs you. I'm almost scared to upload this. I am, because I just don't want to start anything. Like, it's very deep, but I know this is going to piss some people off. It's going to make some people happy. Oh, man. This is risky for a reaction. I'm not even going to lie. This is a long-ass reaction, too. I just don't want to say I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to offend anyone. So I'm just strictly listening, because even all this stuff is a lot for me to take in. Like, I've known African Americans, colored people have always had it more difficult compared to whites in general. And there are good whites out there in the world. There are good white people out there in the world. It really is. And there are I know lots of great people who are of color, you know? And it's just it's a very touchy subject to talk about race after what happened last year with the BLM movement, the Asian awareness movement. You know what I mean? So it's very touchy to talk about race, especially like someone as young as me who doesn't have all the knowledge and see everything that's going on in the world. You know what I mean? Like, I was seeing the BLM movement, but I wasn't I wasn't like there, like at some of the bigger areas where like some shit really did go down between cops and protesters. You know what I mean? So it's just something that I find very difficult to talk about, especially like I said at such a young age. I just want everyone to get along. That's what I really want. I wish there wasn't racism at all. I really wish there wasn't, because it's very sad that we can't get along as just humans on this planet because of the color of our skin. That's very sad. That's I get along with everyone. That's why I never judge anyone by what they look like. I never judge anyone by what they look like, because that's not right. You gotta learn. You gotta get to know the person before you judge them. And I think everyone who I really do trust, like, is because I didn't look at them from who they are, who they appear to be on the outside. I gave them a chance and accepted who they are on the inside. You know what I mean? So it's a very touchy subject, and I think that's all I'm going to say about that.
14th Amendment and the good nigga. Jews don't salute the fucking swastika, but niggas pledge allegiance to the flag that accosted you. They never teach about the breaker islands like Jamaica, but before slaves came here, whites would take her. Pregnant woman hang her from a tree by her toes, slice her stomach with a knife and let the unborn baby fall to the floor. They stop an unborn child in front of all the slaves.
So
to end weak fear so they be scared, behave,
really
and not rebel, move.
Right.
Understand, all whites must be perceived as potential predators. I paraphrase historian Ishakamusa Berashenko. Understand that regardless of the lofty ideas engraved on paper in such documents as the Constitution, a declaration, and basic nature of the European American white man remains virtually unchanged. So check. This is the nature of the threat.
That was a lot to take in. If I knew that what to expect on that track, man, that was a lot to take in, man. And like I said, I'm not going to say anything else besides what I just said, like maybe a few minutes ago. It's terrible. It's terrible what has happened, what happened in the past, what is happening here in the present, how we can't just kind of learn from our mistakes. It's terrible that we can't, not everyone can get along, and that there are these type of wars against different races, against different genders, against different sexualities. Like, it's terrible. It's terrible. And I just, that's why it's really hard for me to take something like history serious, because they say history tends to repeat yourself. So why don't we learn from it, though? Why don't we learn from our mistakes? Why don't we try to, like, make sure it doesn't happen again? All the shit that he talked about, especially with, like, basically the blacks, what was happening to blacks back then, it's in a way still happening to this day. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a very touchy subject, and I just wish for everyone to get along. And I pray that everybody will take my advice and not judge somebody by what they look like on the outside. That's my only advice. Never judge a book by its cover. That's all I'm gonna say. That was probably was the most serious reaction I've ever had. Like, I'm not, I don't even know what to say. I was stumbling throughout this whole thing because I didn't know what to say. Like, I'm genuinely lost. I'm at a loss for words on this one. So, y'all let me know what y'all thought about that. If you guys want to see more from Ras Kass, y'all know what to do. Hit the like, subscribe, comment, share with some more people if you enjoyed. If you want to join the Discord, hit up that link in the description. But, yeah. See you guys next time.